How to tell if you're being haunted. Hello and welcome to our simple guide on how to tell if you're being haunted. If you're here, it's likely that you have a ghost, or what we in the business like to call a persistent paranormal problem. It's a more common issue than the average person realizes, so don't feel alone. We'll get rid of your pesky poltergeist in no time. Today, we will be learning about the inner mechanisms of the previously mentioned supernatural and how we can properly identify a paranormal situation. Now, the first step is to always properly diagnose the issue at hand. We don't want to waste time tracking down ghosts when it turns out all you really have is a rodent problem or are just a bit mad yourself. Being haunted by your past is out of our scope of work. So to start off, there's a few simple questions you can ask yourself to see if you are truly being haunted. We like to call them the symptoms of a haunting. For example, some of them are: do your floors creak when no one's walking on them? Can you hear howling down the halls at night? Do your windows shudder when there's no wind? Is there a distinct old and ancient stench pouring out of your vents and an overall feeling of dread and horror that seems to loom over you in your bed night after night that makes it hard to breathe, let alone sleep? Well, if you answered yes to 3 or more of these questions, congratulations! You might just have a ghost. But there's still a bit of investigating that we need to do. Our next step is to look into the history of your home. Perhaps it was the location of a tragic Victorian-era murder, or maybe it was once a graveyard, an old blockbuster video, or any other place where lost souls often hang around. Another sign that we will look at is the physical signs and symptoms. Ghosts may be shy, but like all humans, they're attention seekers nonetheless. Most tend to leave behind some sort of physical sign that they've been around. Maybe it's blood dripping down your walls or a faint flickering of lights. Maybe it's some conveniently charred toast. Some ghosts tend to be more subtle than others, so keep a sharp eye and soon you might start to see indications that you're not alone. But while these techniques are proven methods used to positively identify a poltergeist, you can always take the simpler route. When all else fails, remember that it never hurts to simply ask. Because sometimes they whisper back. Now that we've thoroughly established that those apparitions are not just figments of your imagination and you are indeed being tormented by spirits, you may be asking yourself, what now? Well, there's always the option of making friends with the supernatural. Ghosts were people too, and they deserve to have meaningful relationships just like you and I. Sometimes all it takes is an alarming level of bravery and a few icebreakers. Just remember, never comment on their pale complexion. But of course, some ghosts aren't in the mood for small talk or ready for a committed relationship, and in the likely event that trying to befriend them only angers them further, there's always the fail-safe backup plan that most of our clients choose once they realise that a damned spirit is nothing to be trifled with. Move. Personally, I'd go with that option.